Hello everyone, this is Fantasy Ask and welcome back to Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had two new vampire fledglings age up in the camp, and it was, I think, an episode of mixed emotions because we had obviously the excitement of Bloom Kit surviving kitten cough and then going on to become Bloom Paw. But then on the other hand, we had a very unexpected death in Light Song. So the fledglings, yes, aged up safely, but their mother unfortunately passed away because she was killed by some vampire hunters that crossed the border into our territory. So things were a bit confusing, I think, emotionally for a lot of the cats. So it is now Leaf Bear and Moon 45. So let's go ahead and see what everyone's up to. Things are continuing, I think, in dire straits for them. Not only has the weather gotten harsher, but I think the clan has been hearing the call of war, the cold winds of war blowing over the camp once more. So let's go over to the leader's den, see how things are going here. We have hostilities with Wind Clan and Gossamer Clan. Gossamer Clan was the group who killed Light Song when the vampire hunters crossed over. And then we have neutrality with Day Clan so far. Now let's see how things are going. Fueled by a simmering resentment, Wind Clan initiates a war with Vampire Clan, determined to reclaim their disputed territory. So once more, we have dived into a war. Grandmaster Shivering Star's running nose has finally stopped running. Thankfully, our leader is feeling in good health. And you can still see a lot of our cats haven't recovered from their grief of Light Song's loss. So Twilight Fade, Blue Jay, Quiet Flay, and Bloom Paw, they've all been deeply affected. Okay, so we are, down Mistwalkers in the middle of a war. Okay, in the Medicine Cat Den, Blue Jay was given Juniper as treatment for grief-stricken. Twilight Fade was given Juniper as treatment for grief-stricken. Grandmaster Shivering Star was given Ragwort as treatment for running nose. And then he healed from that. Quiet Flight was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Bloom Paw was given time as treatment for grief-stricken, and Hazel Pill could not find any herbs this moon. So let's check out relationships. Blue Jay and Grandmaster Shivering Star watched drama unfold in camp. So I suppose that's going to be the next negative thing that happens, maybe. Blue Jay doesn't understand why Bloom Paw is being so rude. Okay, so that is the drama. I guess Blue Jay and Shivering Star maybe were looking at how Bloom Paw has been behaving very oddly, and she has been grieving and closed off. Maybe they're worried that she's falling behind in her training, so Blue Jay went to check up on Bloom Paw, especially because Blue Jay used to talk a lot with Light Song before Light Song passed away about whether or not Bloom Paw was going to survive kitten cough, and Blue Jay, who's lost a daughter in Fire Ivy, could kind of understand some of Light Song's feelings. So now that Light Song is no longer here and Bloom Paw has survived, I think Blue Jay, out of the friendship she had with Light Song, maybe feels some obligation to make sure Bloom Paw is doing okay. But Bloom Paw, she's kind of lashing out at Blue Jay, and Shivering Star's kind of watching this as well. Master Burnleaf notices Quiet Flight doing something generous. Master Burnleaf and Fornest splash each other in a puddle, but it doesn't look playful. Yikes. Twilight Fade wants to be closer to Grandmaster Shivering Star. Okay. Twilight Fade and Fornest enjoy the rain together. Now, I wonder if Twilight Fade is getting some comfort from the Grandmaster after the loss of his mate. Grandmaster Shivering Star and Hazel Pelt trip over the same twig in camp. Both Grandmaster Shivering Star and Master Burnleaf startle at a clap of thunder. Quiet Flight and Grandmaster Shivering Star chat idly about the latest meeting. Quiet Flight and Ibis Freckle chat about clan news, probably the new war that's been started. Hazel Pelt shared an embarrassing story about Sunnytail, he was asked not to share. Hazel Pelt is amazed at how skilled Sunnytail really is. Alfeather got tricked into doing one of Bloom Paw's chores. And Bloom Paw, I think, is being trained by Pine Speck, yeah. Sunnytail stops and thinks before assuming the worst of Master Burnleaf, of his father. That is good. Bloompaw thanked Pinespeck for bringing her food. Oh, look at that! So, Bloompaw is Pinespeck's fledgling, and I was wondering whether or not Pinespeck, being a cold cat, like, how is he gonna comfort Bloompaw, who's compassionate and going through extensive grief? Well, Pinespeck, I suppose, has a more practical way of comforting rather than offering, cozy words or things that are going to make you feel better. He does what is practically needed, like bringing her food to make sure she's eaten. In that way, he's kind of showing his care for her. I like that. A clanmate tells Ibis Freckle that Owlfeather stories are better. Fornest is impressed by Hazelpelt's competence in any situation. Okay, so some father-son bonding. Fornest, Hazelpelt, and Quietfly took a sunbath and had a little small talk. This is actually really cute. Fornest spending some time with his parents. And I'm sure he appreciates this attention because typically he is the forgotten youngest son. Wolfpaw said something really rude to Pinespeck. Oh no, I'm pretty sure Wolfpaw on her first patrol was supervised by Pinespeck. I had thought maybe they would get along with each other, but apparently that is not entirely the case. Bloompaw tells her friend that Twilight Fade is her hero. Oh, that's cute! Her father is her hero. Aww. And I know that during the ceremony, Twilight Fade was there with Bloompaw trying to be really encouraging of her. So he was almost as though, even though Wolfpaw is his favorite daughter, I think he kind of knew that Bloompaw would be hit the hardest by Lightsong's death. So he was trying to fill that gap that she would feel in her ceremony. Okay, well that's what we have for events. Let's wrap up here and continue with the cat list. Let's continue with the cat list and see what's going on over here, starting off with loyalties, where we have had some changes. So now, among Shivering Star's loyalists, we have, surprisingly, Pinespeck, Fornest, Ibis Freckle, and Wolfpaw. Now I think all of these changes are probably tied to the fact that following the immediate death of Lightsong by Gosma Clan's hand, we are now straight into a war with Wind Clan. And I think as the newest generation of Mistwalkers, Pinespeck, Fornest, and Ibis Freckle probably feel a sense of responsibility fighting the vampire hunters. And if there's one thing they can kind of tie to Shivering Star or unite under Shivering Star for, is his focus of basically not letting the vampire hunters rest easy. And I think Wolfpaw, as well as the older sister in her litter, probably is feeling protective over Bloompaw, wanting to, keep Bloompaw safe following her surviving kitten cough. And also, having lost her mother to the vampire hunters, Wolfpaw feels that out of her and her sister, she probably carries the burden of vengeance almost. So I think that's why she's become a loyalist to Shivering Star as well. She wants to band together and kind of support, the new generation of Mistwalkers in fighting the vampire hunters. In terms of relationships, I didn't really notice any sort of major changes. So let's go. Oh wait, we can't go to Twilight Fade to do any whispering, unfortunately. Let's just see what everyone's doing for the day. Grandmaster Shivering Star concocts elaborate pranks. Okay, I mean, they're pranks maybe to keep spirits within the clan itself up. But also, I might interpret this as Shivering Star coming up with new ways to sabotage the vampire hunters. Master Burnleaf pretends to be busy. Hazelpelt is picking the burrs from his pelt. Twilight Fade is grumbling as he carries out a task for the medicine cat. Okay, for Hazelpelt. Blue Jay had a nice chat with a cat from another clan at the border. Okay, so Blue Jay has been talking to one of the vampire hunters. Fascinating. Maybe one of the neutral clans. Day Clan? Who they ended a war with not too long ago? I don't know how the other cats would feel, or the other vampires would feel, if they found out that Blue Jay was talking with a vampire hunter. Quiet Flight is asking Fornest an important question. Sunnytail wonders if he would be better as a whisper instead. Okay, so he's thinking how he would do in the position of Twilight Fade. That has been something that he frequently thinks about. Although now, the reason for his rivalry, Lightsong, is no longer here. Owlfeather daydreams about being a warrior in Leopard Clan. Pinespeck thought he saw a cat, but turns out it's a two-leg object that just looks like one. Fawnest can't wait for New Leaf. Ibis Freckle brought Hazelpelt a berry to identify. That's actually very nice. That despite the disagreement she's, I think, had with her father growing up, she still is, in certain things she does like this, retaining the behavior or personality outlook she had when she was a kitten, when she was always following her father around because she thought he was amazing. Wolfpaw wonders if Ibis Freckle was a good apprentice. Bloompaw plays a prank on Fawnest. Okay, so at least something's getting her spirits up, even if it's just a little. But I think last time I also forgot to check the experience of the mentors. So we should probably do that and see how the youngsters are going. Although I kind of figured it would be a little bit clear. Like, I figured that Owlfeather would probably have more experience than Pinespeck. And Wolfpaw, we know, is probably going to be ahead of Bloompaw because she's in no mood to actually get training done. So yeah, no surprise over here. Wolfpaw basically has the advantage, not only because she is, like, hasn't been that deeply affected. I can't say that, but you know, she isn't so gripped by her loss of Lightsong that she cannot do anything else. She's not grief-stricken. So she has that advantage. Also, her mentor is more experienced. Even though Owlfeather and Pinespeck have never had a fledgling to train before, Owlfeather has more experience in general. So Wolfpaw has a double advantage in that way, and Bloompaw has a double disadvantage. You know, she's falling behind. She hasn't even gone out on her first patrol. Pinespeck has been kind of attentive to her and bringing her food and stuff, but he's also a bit inexperienced. So I feel bad for Bloompaw. But Wolfpaw has 11 experience, so currently she's kind of racing ahead, and her sister still has 0 experience. Yeah, she's not been able to get anything done. Unless she comes out of this grief, she's going to be very, very far behind. But it kind of sucks that she was affected this way from the very beginning. Okay, well that's all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up here and continue with patrols. Let us resume with our patrols. We currently have 194.2 prey, and we need 34, so we don't have to worry about food. We'll send out our Nightstalker, Hazelpelt, first off to see what he gets up to. While searching for some specific herbs, Hazelpelt is startled by weird sounds and whispers on the wind. Hazelpelt follows the strange sounds on the wind and finds the body of an unknown queen with their kits beside them slowly going cold. He cancels his patrol and returns to camp to get help sending these lost souls to StarClan. Look at that. I mean, it's unfortunate that this queen and their kits died. But if the queen and her kids had been alive, then we know what would have happened to them. They would have been brought back to Vampire Clan, to the ruins, and killed by the vampires for their blood and the power their blood gives the vampires. So I think it's a good thing that the queen and her kids had passed on. Yikes. Okay. Let's send out the other cats or the other vampires. So we are going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 2. And okay, so this time around, Owlfeather is going with Wolfpaw, and I think she's also going to get Pinespeck maybe to help train Wolfpaw as well. So they're going to be jointly supervising Wolfpaw, since Pinespeck doesn't really have anything to do with his apprentice being down. So we'll send these guys out and see what they get up to. Oh, the patrol hears desperate screams coming from a nearby lake. Proceed. The patrol races towards the sound. They're puzzled when they only see a lone two-leg, but grim realization soon dawns on them after they hear more screams coming from a bag the two-leg is holding. Jumping into action, the Vampire Clan cats startle the two-leg into letting go of the bag, while the rest of the patrol claws the ankles of the now furious two-leg. Sunnytail and Owlfeather, brother and sister, quickly and quietly get the old shivering cat out of sight, promising him safety and welcome in Initiate Clan for as long as he'd like. So Zek has joined the clan. Your clan's reputation towards outsiders has improved. Let's take a look at this. Oh, so this cat, what is his problem? He has a broken jaw, unfortunately. He has a senior male, pale green eyes, a classic pelt, cunning, fast as the wind, and very clever. I think I want to change his name. Doc? Should his name just be Doc? Oh, what about Whispering? I like that. His name's going to be Whispering. But how does he look when he's healthy? Okay, he looks interesting. He has a scar on his kind of rump, which I don't know where he got that scar from. That is a huge scar, and obviously nothing to do with a broken jaw. So he's already been injured beforehand. Oh, I feel terrible for him. I wonder if he's a bit of an abused cat. Wouldn't you think that? Like, the two-leg tried, something bad happened to his two legs. Obviously, he was then caught by or under the care of a different two-leg, who I don't think was treating him very well, because he has this massive scar on his rump. But that aside, he also has a broken jaw. And that scar is from something that's already healed over. Oh, I feel terrible for him, but we're going to accept him into Initiate Clan. Maybe he sees these very strong vampires helping him, kind of punishing the two legs, and Whispering kind of wants the same ability. He wants the same strength. He wants to be able to defend himself as well. Also, guys, just a side note, but have we realized that aside from Cottonshade at the very, very beginning, we have not had any vampire actually retire, ever. I think the only cat that ever retired was literally Cottonshade. And after him, we just have not had any cat retire. Like, Burnleaf has been serving as the master for ages. Ever since Honeybloom died. And, Hazelpelt and Twilight Fade, they've been in their respective positions for quite a while. Like, we've had people or cats, vampires in the inner circle die. Nobody from the inner circle, aside from Cottonshade, has ever retired. It just kind of hit me. But okay, so this is what our big patrol managed to get done. We found an initiate and brought him into Initiate Clan, which is good. And just a quick look at our Initiate Clan. How is that going? Okay, yeah, Crunchy is a half initiate we have. Same as Fierce, I think. Fierce is another one of the half initiates, like Crunchy, who's there half the time, not there rest of the time. The cats I consider to be like full initiates that our clan has accepted are the cats who actually get brought into vampire or get brought into the ruins temporarily and then get accepted and kind of sent to Initiate Clan, like Spooky and Crowpetal, Endless Heart, Smokefeather, and Whispering. They all came into the ruins and then were guided to Initiate Clan. Whereas Crunchy and Fierce, we've come into contact with them. They're fascinated by Initiate Clan, but they've never really entered the ruins or seen, what the vampires are about. So, yeah. But we do have, a good amount of, we've got our seven initiates, which is really good. Of mixed genders, which is also really good. So, okay, let's go with our final patrols. We have Master Burnleaf and Grandmaster Shivering Star. Let's see what they get up to. The patrol comes across a Day Clan apprentice. A vampire hunter apprentice waiting quietly at the border. When the apprentice notices the patrol, they press themselves to the ground, begging to join Initiate Clan. This is the second time a vampire hunter apprentice has actually wanted to join. Guys, you know how Blue Jay was talking to one of the cats at the border from another clan? Do you think maybe Blue Jay was talking to this vampire hunter apprentice who kind of was seeing what the vampire hunters are doing, was seeing the war, and like they didn't really want to be a part of it. In fact, they were sympathizing with the vampires and they wanted to join the vampires and become one of the vampires. And they were very, very terribly sorry for the deaths that were happening and had happened. Maybe. Shivering Star, Grandmaster Shivering Star, is eager to steal a Day Clan's apprentice right from under their noses. He sticks close to the apprentice on their way back to camp. At first, the clan is unsure, but Grandmaster Shivering Star vouches for Lightning Paw, and he is allowed to join Initiate Clan. So Lightning Paw has joined Initiate Clan, relations with Day Clan have worsened. Let's take a look at this new little apprentice who looks really cool. A male adolescent with heather blue eyes, a Sakoke pelt, playful, quick to help, and a careful listener. But he obviously is going to go to Initiate Clan. But that is so cool. This is the second time we have managed to get... Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Crow Petal was the first. I think Crow Petal was the first Vampire Hunter apprentice who came to our side. And with Crow Petal, isn't his patterning so interesting? It almost looks like he's got like tears coming out of his eyes. He looks like he's got tears coming out of his eyes, but I think that's just his coat patterning. But yeah, we have Crow Petal. And it says he's formerly a kitty pet. But you know, it could very well be. It says he's a kitty pet, but he actually was a Vampire Hunter apprentice. Although, it could be that he was a kitty pet who then joined the Vampire Hunters and became an apprentice to the Vampire Hunters, and he didn't really like the life there. And from there he left and then eventually joined Initiate Clan. And Lightning Paw, apparently he was a loner who probably joined a vampire hunting clan, didn't really like the life that he experienced there, and decided to, following all these wars and deaths, kind of join Initiate Clan in hopes of becoming one of the vampires. Yeah. Okay, look at that. That's actually quite interesting. So that is all we managed to get done today. I think it was quite eventful. We found 2 new initiates, which is actually really good. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.